The gentleman dances a forward part, raises his left arm, and if needed, leads the lady with the right arm into the turning. He dances start, 4 and on the spot, slowly to the side and back, on the spot, slowly to the side. The lady begins her backward part of the basic step, raises the right hand and turns underneath her own right hand a complete turn. She dances start, back to the right, on the spot, and slowly to the side, steps forward with the left foot. The right foot remains on the spot and goes to the side again. And now all connected. Here we show 3 basic steps, followed by the raising of the left hand. The lady turns underneath it, and we go back into the basic step. And now you may try it also. And here we are with the second figure, the hand to hand. Here you can see that both partners may open up both to each side. The gentleman begins with his sideward part, opens up with his left foot backwards on the spot, and goes into the side part again. It's commendable here that the side part is charged longer to the front and ends only then to the side. This kind of step is called a forward walk turning. Especially good dancers are distinguished by it. He goes back on the spot, charges to the front, and turns back on the spot, and then to the side to go into the basic step. Of course, she does exactly the same, goes forward too, and turns very late, and on the other side we see this forward walk turning too. We count again on 2, then stress on the spot, 3, 4, 1. She goes back on the spot, and then here too, charged to the front. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And again the opening up and back on the spot, and to the side, to get back into the basic step. Combined we see 3 basic steps. The left hand of the gentleman raises, the lady turns underneath the arm and immediately goes into the hand to hand. We recommend to dance 4 hand to hands and then go back into the basic step. Of course, the New Yorker may be danced in the rumba too. And here you also see that both partners may each open up to the front and may dance this on both sides. The gentleman begins with his sidewards part, distinctly leads the entwined hands in between both bodies through and therefore dances the opening up to the front. He begins with the sideward part, then a 4 on the spot, slowly to the side, and again a 4 on the spot, slowly to the side. We count on 2, 3, 4, 1. the lady begins her sideward part to the left. And of course, she also has the opening up in both directions. She begins with the left foot to the side. Then 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, 3, 4, 1. Each one turn on the spot. Dance to the side, and 4 on the spot, and danced to the side. And now, all shown combined. Both partners each open up, and each in the inner feet go to the front. We may substitute the last New Yorker by a spot turn. In doing so, the gentleman would make a step to the front as in the New Yorker, but would then dance a complete turn. First he goes to the side, then 4, turns, the left foot remains on the spot, and there follows the side step. The lady does exactly the same, of course only turned the other way round. She turns to the right. She starts off with the side step. Her left foot goes to the front, the right foot remains on the spot, and we go to the side into our slow side step. And now we dance everything in combination. Here you see our recommendation. 4 basic steps, followed by the left hand of the gentleman going down, and we open up into the New Yorker. We recommend to dance 3 New Yorkers and to make a turn on spot afterwards. And now we come to a combination of figures advanced dancers may dance. Here we go into a so-called fan, and from the fan the lady comes back with an alemana into a closed dancing hold. Let's take a closer look at the fan. The lady opens up in a 90 degrees towards the gentleman. He dances a half basic step, then drops the left hand and leads the lady into her fan position. He begins with the starting step. 4, on the spot, dance to the side, and a back on the spot, and again to the side, slightly turned into the room. She dances her starting step, goes back on the spot, then 2 steps to the front and 1 step backwards. She counts on 2, 3, 4, 1, makes 2 steps to the front, 2, 3, 4, 1 to the back. For a closer illustration, we now see that the gentleman re-grips with the left hand while dropping it and touches the lady from the outside. And now shown as a couple. The lady steps in between the legs of the gentleman and opens up into the fan position. There follows the alemana, at which we will take a closer look in the next combination of figures. On the way back out of the fan, we now dance our alemana. In doing so, the lady turns to the right. The gentleman begins with his forward part, raises the left hand, and leads the arms into a turning, as said, to his right. He begins with this for on the spot, then slowly to the side, and a back on the spot, and here again, slowly to the side. She dances the closing, left 4 on the spot, slowly, and begins the turning with 2 steps on the spot, and slowly. Now, 2, 3, 4, 1, and turns 2, 3, and to the side 4, 1. And now we see everything combined in another exercise. We do 3 basic steps and then go into the fan and then follow the alemana in front of the gentleman. And now we show you one of the more advanced figures. Coming from the hand-to-hand, we go into the so-called Aida. It will be finished with a turn on spot. The gentleman dances a backward part like in the hand-to-hand, and then goes 3 steps back, does a rock on the spot, and a turn on spot to get back into the confrontation. He dances to the side, back on spot, turns charged forward, then backward, backward slowly on the right, the rock on the spot, and the turning on spot, finishing to the side. The lady dances to the side with her left foot, opens up in her hand-to-hand, and then goes backward 3 steps to dance her part of the rock, and turn on spot, and finishes her figure. She dances to the side, then back on 2, on the spot, 3, 4, 1, backwards 2, backwards 3, backwards 4, 1, the rock, 3, 4, 1, and the turn 2, on spot 3, to the side 4, 1. And now, of course, this figure is shown in combination too. We begin with 3 basic steps. Then the lady goes into her fan. She comes out of the fan with the alemana. Then immediately 3 of the hand-to-hand steps. And then backwards into the Aida. It will be finished with the spot turn for both partners. And we then go into the New Yorker. As I said, a pretty advanced combination of figures, which will be finished with a spot turn and the dancing hold. We hope you have a lot of fun with it. Now we combine all 3 parts. We begin with the basic step. From the basic step follows the lady's turn underneath the arm. We both go backwards into our hand-to-hands. Do you remember the forward walk turning? If you are especially good in that, you will be definitely a star on the dance floor. Now we go back into the basic step and out of the basic step. When the gentleman drops his left hand, the New Yorker part follows. This too may be danced in both directions, and we may finish it with a spot turn. And again, we are in the basic step, and out of the basic step, the gentleman drops his left hand, regrips, and leads the lady into the fan. Out of the fan, the alemana follows, and we are back in the beginning and may start again. Now we come to a short summary. Coming from 3 basic steps, we immediately go into the fan. That we see here. Then the lady comes back with her alimana in front of the gentleman, and we immediately open up into the hand-to-hand. Here too we may integrate a spot turn already. Here too we may integrate a spot turn already after the 3rd hand-to-hand and go into the New Yorker afterwards. Of course we finish this part with a spot turn and may then repeat the whole part.